I'd like to introduce our welcomer this morning. He is in every sense one of the most distinguished public servants we've had in this country for many years. William Cohen was a senator from the state of Maine. Served with great distinction in the U.S. Senate. And then he did something that's exceedingly rare in Washington. Despite being a Republican, he went to work for a Democratic president, Bill Clinton, as Secretary of Defense. Now, compare Bill Cohen's record as Secretary of Defense with that of his successor. Well, that's not really fair, actually. That's not a fair comparison by any standard compared with any Secretary of Defense. He was outstanding in that position. And more germane this morning, even than that, is that Bill is an outstanding person who is deeply, deeply committed to the value of education, who knows personally what education means, how it transforms lives, and how it transforms this nation. And so we are just delighted to have Bill Cohen and his lovely wife Janet Langhart Cohen joining us this morning. And with no further ado, I'd like to introduce Bill.
Gene, thank you very much for your kind words, and Avis, congratulations to you for once again hosting this event, which is so important to the lives of all of the students and to the lives of all of us, because what they do and what they achieve will have a major impact not only on their lives but those of the country and indeed the world. I just returned from Maine. I was out there yesterday, spectacular day, and had invited Bob Woodward from the Washington Post to speak about what took place during Watergate. And he and I have been friends since 1974, and it's the first time we were on a stage together in which we discussed our recollections of his role and my role when I first went to Washington back in 1972. But I say Maine because Maine's motto is Derigo, I lead. And I thought that's something that should be the motto of virtually all of us. Because what we need in this country is leadership. There are so many levels of crisis that we have to contend with, excuse me, from the environment to international affairs, to domestic affairs, to the relationship that we have in white America and black America. I won't even begin to touch upon those issues today other than saying you are the future of this country. You are tomorrow's leaders, and tomorrow is just but a day away. So we are here today to lend support for this program because we want to alert the rest of the country of what you're doing, what you've done, what you've achieved, the obstacles that you have overcome, the support you've had and the love you've had from your family and your friends and from Avis and Jean. All of this is going to be critically important to your futures. I'll give you just a little bit of my background. I came from fairly humble means in Bangor, Maine. Third largest city in Maine. I used to be the mayor of Bangor. Population 38,000. So you can see that it was a pretty small city. And I grew up, and I had a tremendous family. My dad worked 18 hours a day, 6 days a week, and he died working, which is exactly what he wanted to do. But established a reputation for hard work and discipline and determination to make the best possible bread and rolls north of Bangor, and he achieved that. By contrast, I had aspirations to become a professional basketball player. You can see there are certain limitations that I suffer from. But I played a lot of basketball in high school and college, and I thought that I might even make it to the NBA. Again, aspirations a bit higher than my abilities, but nonetheless came close. But I had two aspirations. Number one, to be a professional basketball player. Number two, to ride a motorcycle in Europe and write novels. I didn't quite make it to the NBA, but I did make it in terms of writing novels. But all of that came about through education. I had an opportunity to go to Bowdoin college, a small college in Maine, and I had the support of family members and friends. And I'll tell you just a quick story to the students who are here when you go to school. And we are here today, and all of the representatives from the top-tier schools are here today to help you navigate your way through all of the labyrinthian pathways you have to go to get in and get support, financial support, so that you can achieve your dreams. But while I was in school, I had professors who shattered my own self-conception of who I was. During my very first year, again, I was the captain of the basketball team, and a professor said, all of you must write a sonnet. And I went to the professor, I said, wait a minute. I'm on the basketball team, and it was the equivalent of real men don't write sonnets. And he said, Mr. Cohen, you will write a sonnet or you will fail this course, which got my attention. So I ended up forcing myself to write a sonnet. Guess what? It opened up a whole new world for me. I suddenly saw the expansion of literature from Latin. I majored in Latin as a result of it, and went on to write many things, both in college, also in law school. And in law school, I had a different discipline. I had a number of physical ailments. I couldn't focus words. Had disabling headaches, and yet had the support of people. Said, "You've got to keep going." And that really is the message that we wanted to give to you today. We are so proud to be in the presence of young people who want to achieve, who aspire, who have aspirations, who want to reach for the sky. And what you need is the support, again, of friends, family, and people like Avis who are here to help. I don't know what else I can tell you before I introduce my wife, because she really is the driving force in our family. I asked how I should introduce her. She said, Your Majesty will do fine. But what I want to say to you is something that I heard recently, and it was a quote taken from a Robert Alden. And he said, there's not enough darkness in the world that can put out the light from a single candle. And you are the candles that are going to light the future. And that's why we're here today, to help you navigate your way to be able to achieve that dream, to be able to hold up that candle, to light the darkness that cannot be put out. So to conclude here and invite my wife, Janet Langhart Cohen, who is really a very special woman, individual. She grew up in Indianapolis. She was a daughter of a single-parent mother. She lived basically in a ghetto. And had to overcome all of the obstacles of living in Klan territory, basically. Indianapolis was the home, the regional home of the Ku Klux Klan. And yet her mother gave her values. Her mother said, get your education. Study hard. Stay away from all of the mischievous things that young people can get into. Be a good student, because that's something that's going to make your future. And she took advantage of that and listened to her mother, and as a result, she went on to become a fashion model. She became very close to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the last 2 years of his life. He was her mentor, although she really was a follower of Malcolm X, I must say. And that's another story altogether. But nonetheless, one other story about Janet, and that has to do with Muhammad Ali, who was a very close friend of hers. He said something after he had been stripped of his title. He met her in a parade and had a chance to talk, and she said, Muhammad, they've taken everything from you. He said, no, they haven't taken everything from me. They haven't taken me from me. Don't you ever want something so badly that only they can give it to you? Because if they give it to you, they can take it away from you, and there'll be nothing of you. And so the message from her mother, from Martin Luther King Jr., from Muhammad, get your education. Understand who you are and what you can achieve. The dream is out there for you to grab it, and we're here to help you grab it. Thank you very much. Janet, will you please come up?